On a frigid Saturday morning, Harper knelt beside the display window, her weary eyes following the bright pink boxes arranged like small dreams beyond her reach. Her daughter Mia stood at her side in a worn blue dress, gripping the edge of her mother's frayed sleeve, her gaze fixed on a Barbie doll with golden hair and a shimmering pink gown. Behind the glass, everything appeared flawless, beaming faces, polished boxes, and pledges of happiness. Beyond it, Harper's reflection revealed a different tale, one of weariness, hardship, and boundless love tinged with anxiety. She forced down the lump in her throat, feeling the burn behind her eyes. And then, with a quivering voice, she murmured, "Sweetheart, I can't afford a Barbie for your birthday this year. If you believe compassion and second chances can still transform this world, then take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Untold Stories 0.4. Because sometimes it requires just one gesture of kindness to rewrite someone's story forever." Harper had never envisioned life would turn out like this. She once worked at a lively cafe downtown, serving patrons with a smile while saving every tip for Mia's small pleasures. Crayons, ice cream, tiny ribbons for her hair. But when the cafe closed down after new management assumed control, Harper found herself unemployed with overdue rent and barely enough food to survive the week. Her husband had abandoned them years earlier when Mia was an infant, leaving her with nothing but a note and a pile of bills. Yet she battled every single day, taking odd cleaning shifts, folding laundry for neighbors, and skipping meals so her daughter wouldn't go to bed hungry. Now, as Mia's 6th birthday drew near, Harper wanted nothing more than to give her something special. Mia had been speaking about Barbie for months, how her friend at school owned one, how she wished she could brush her hair and dress her up. But Harper's wallet contained only 8 wrinkled dollars. She attempted to smile when Mia asked again, but her heart ached knowing the reality. She couldn't even purchase a cake, let alone the doll behind the glass. She sat on the cold curb that morning, watching her daughter press her small hand against the store window, whispering, "Maybe one day, Mommy." And before Harper could respond, a man in a dark suit stepped out of the store. He was tall, impeccably dressed, with an expression that appeared stern yet curious. He had been standing near the doorway for a while, unnoticed, observing the mother and daughter. His name was Cole Harrington, the CEO of the very toy company that manufactured those Barbie dolls. But Harper didn't know that. To her, he was just another stranger in an expensive suit. Cole had been experiencing a difficult morning himself. Meetings, deadlines, endless reports about profits and market trends, the usual noise of a life that had forgotten simplicity. But something about the way Harper knelt beside her child, her eyes brimming with pain and love, stopped him. It reminded him of his own mother, a woman who once cleaned offices so he could have textbooks and a chance at something better. As he observed, Harper wiped Mia's tears and whispered, "You're still my princess, with or without a Barbie." The words struck him harder than any business deal ever had. Moments later, as Harper rose to leave, attempting to distract Mia with a promise of pancakes at home, Cole quietly called out to the store clerk. "Can you pack the display Barbie, the one in the pink gown?" he said, sliding his card onto the counter. The clerk blinked, surprised. "Yes, sir, of course." Then Cole followed them outside. Harper froze when the man approached. She instinctively drew Mia closer, her heart pounding. "Excuse me," Cole said gently, holding a pink box wrapped in a ribbon. "I couldn't help but overhear. Perhaps this could make her birthday a little brighter." Harper blinked, confused. "Oh no, sir. Please, I can't accept that," she stammered. But Cole shook his head. "You're not accepting it from me," he said quietly. "You're accepting it from one parent to another, from someone who understands what it means to want more for your child than the world allows you to give." Tears gathered in Harper's eyes as she looked down at the doll. Mia's face illuminated with pure joy, her tiny hands trembling as she held it. "Mommy, she looks like me," she whispered, smiling through her tears. Harper couldn't speak. She simply nodded, her throat constricted with gratitude. Cole didn't linger for thanks. He simply smiled, turned away, and walked toward a sleek black car waiting nearby. But before he climbed in, he paused. "Ma'am," he said softly, "we're hiring seasonal staff at the new warehouse. If you're looking for work, tell them Cole sent you." Then he departed. That night, Harper placed the doll on their small kitchen table, lit a single candle from last year's leftovers, and sang happy birthday to her daughter. Mia clapped, laughing, clutching her new Barbie tight. Harper watched her, smiling through tears. For the first time in a long while, hope didn't feel like a fantasy. Days later, Harper gathered the courage to visit the warehouse. She didn't expect much. She had no references, no polished resume. But when she mentioned Cole's name, the manager's eyes widened. "You're the woman he spoke about," he said warmly. "We've been waiting for you." She secured the job that very day. Months passed and Harper's life began to transform. She worked diligently, earned respect, and gradually built a stable life for Mia. She found herself surrounded by people who believed in her. Co-workers who became friends, a boss who supported her growth, and a daughter who never stopped believing in magic. One evening, after receiving her first steady paycheck, Harper took Mia back to that same store window. "Remember this place?" she whispered, smiling. "It's where our story changed." Mia looked up at her mother and said, "No, Mommy. It's where you changed everything." Sometimes it isn't grand gestures or miracles that transform a life. Sometimes it's a moment of compassion, a stranger's quiet kindness that turns despair into hope. Cole never told anyone about what he did that day. But for Harper, it became the turning point she had prayed for in silence every night. Before the ending, tell me in the comments, what would you have done if you were in the CEO's place? Would you have stopped to help or walked away like most people do? If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Untold Stories, where every story reminds us that humanity still shines brightest when life feels darkest. Because somewhere out there, another Harper is waiting for someone's kindness to change her world.